The mountains looked impossible to cross. And still, they did it. When the United States decided to build a railroad through the Sierra Nevada, many believed it couldn't be done. Extreme altitude, relentless cold, constant danger. At first, a small group of Chinese workers was hired, around 50 men. It didn't stay small. By 1868, between 10,000 and 12,000 Chinese laborers were working on the line, making up nearly 80 to 90% of the workforce.
We are on it.
What began as an experiment became the backbone of the entire project. And yet, they were never treated as equals. They were paid less than white workers, earning around $27 to $30 a month, while others received more, with food and housing included. The Chinese workers had to cover everything themselves: meals, tools, shelter. They lived in tents, endured brutal winters at high altitude, and took on the most dangerous jobs: cutting tunnels through solid granite, handling explosives, working in avalanche zones, lowering themselves down cliffs to drill into rock. And still, they kept going. In 1867, they pushed back. They organized a strike, demanding better pay, shorter hours, and safer conditions inside the suffocating tunnels. The response was harsh.
We are on it.
Food and supplies were cut off. After a week, hunger forced them back to work. But something had changed. They had shown they were not invisible. 2 years later, they did something extraordinary. On April 28, 1869, crews from the Central Pacific Railroad laid over 16 kilometers of track in a single day, a record that still stands as one of the most remarkable achievements in 19th century rail construction. A small group placed the rails, but behind them, hundreds of Chinese workers moved materials, leveled the ground, and secured every piece with precision. And when it was finished, they were barely seen. At Promontory Summit on May 10, 1869, the ceremony focused on investors, speeches, and symbolism. The workers who made it possible were largely absent from the image that history remembered. What followed wasn't recognition. It was exclusion, discrimination,
We are on it.
laws that pushed them further into the margins. Because this story was never just about a railroad. It was about people who carved a path through mountains and were later left out of the story. They didn't just build tracks. They cut through stone, cold, and silence, and paid for it with everything.